The world is closer to a nuclear flashpoint than it has been in years. President Donald Trump has thrown down the gauntlet, urging Iran to respond immediately to a U.S.-backed nuclear proposal.
I want to make a deal with Iran. If I can make a deal with Iran, I'll be very happy if we're going to make your region and the world a safer place. But if Iran's leadership rejects this olive branch and continues to attack their neighbors, then we will have no choice but to inflict massive maximum pressure, drive Iranian oil exports to zero like I did before. If you know that, they were a virtually bankrupt country because of what I did. They had no money for terror, they had no money for Hamas or Hezbollah.
While the international community clings to hopes of diplomacy, a dangerous standoff is taking shape, and the consequences could reshape the entire Middle East. Amid escalating tensions, veiled threats of military action, and a whirlwind of backchannel diplomacy, the future of Iran's nuclear program and possibly regional peace hangs in the balance. Trump has made it clear, the time to act is now, and the cost of inaction may be dire. President Trump confirmed that the United States has delivered a formal nuclear proposal to Iran aimed at halting the Islamic Republic's controversial nuclear activities. Speaking during his recent tour of the Gulf region, Trump issued a stern warning. "We're not going to be making any nuclear dust in Iran." The president emphasized that while Washington prefers a diplomatic solution, it is fully prepared to respond if Tehran fails to engage. Iran needs to move quickly, Trump said. There won't be endless rounds of talks. This is a final opportunity for a peaceful resolution.
The time is right now for them to choose. Right now, we don't have a lot of time to wait. Things are happening at a very fast pace. They're happening right here. They're happening at a very fast pace. So they have to make their move right now. One way or the other, make your move.
This renewed pressure comes amid reports that Iran is accelerating its uranium enrichment, a development the U.S. views as a direct threat to regional and global security. In Tehran, the mood is defiant. Iranian officials flatly deny receiving any formal proposal from Washington. Deputy Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi accused the U.S. of playing a dangerous public relations game. "We have not received any new or official proposal. If the Americans are serious, they know where to find us," he said. Iran views the Trump administration's messaging as erratic and insincere. According to Iranian sources, the conflicting public and private statements from U.S. officials reflect either internal chaos or a deliberate strategy to pressure Iran through media rather than serious negotiations. Araghchi added that Iran will not entertain media diplomacy and warned that if pressure continues, Tehran may consider increasing the pace of its nuclear activities. A key sticking point remains Iran's insistence on its sovereign right to enrich uranium for civilian purposes under the framework of the Non-Proliferation Treaty, NPT. Iranian leaders have described this right as their absolute red line. While Iran claims its program is peaceful and transparent, the U.S. remains skeptical, pushing for tighter limitations, more intrusive inspections, and permanent dismantling of certain facilities. Trump's proposal reportedly offers limited sanction relief in exchange for significant nuclear curbs. But from Iran's perspective, such a deal would be a step backward from the 2015 nuclear agreement, which Trump himself withdrew from during his previous term. Tehran continues to demand the full lifting of sanctions before making any new commitments. Despite the public bluster, behind closed doors, diplomacy is alive, if fragile. Omani Foreign Minister Sayed Badr al-Busaidi has emerged as a key mediator, facilitating meetings between U.S. envoy Steve Witkoff and Iranian negotiators. Secret talks have reportedly taken place in Muscat and Rome. Meanwhile, Iran is also engaged in discussions with European powers, Britain, France, and Germany, in Istanbul. These European nations are trying to bridge the gap and prevent another full-blown Middle East crisis. A senior European diplomat involved in the Istanbul meeting told AP, "There's still a very small window for success, but both sides must tone down their rhetoric and act fast." Trump's recent trip to Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and the UAE raised eyebrows in Israel. Notably, he skipped Tel Aviv. prompting concern among Israeli officials who feel increasingly isolated amid U.S. engagements with Arab states and Iran. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has privately expressed concern that Washington may cut a deal with Tehran without fully consulting its traditional ally. The region is shifting. One Israeli intelligence official said, "If the U.S. goes soft on Iran, Israel may be forced to act unilaterally." The potential for miscommunication and miscalculation between Iran, Israel, and the U.S. increases the risk of conflict exponentially. As the standoff intensifies, both Washington and Tehran stand at a dangerous crossroads. A successful agreement could usher in a period of stability and renewed cooperation. But a collapse in talks, especially with hardliners gaining ground in both nations, could trigger direct confrontation. Experts warn that if Iran continues to enrich uranium unchecked, and if the U.S. resorts to preemptive strikes, the region could spiral into chaos. The stakes are not just political, they are existential. Trump has drawn a line in the sand. The coming days will determine whether diplomacy can prevail, or whether the world must brace for yet another geopolitical crisis. Your perspective matters. Do you think Trump's hardline approach will bring Iran to the table, or push the region closer to war? Let us know in the comments. For more sharp analysis and breaking news on global conflicts and diplomacy, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Stay alert, stay informed.